Hey, my dear friends, before you scroll, pause for a second. If your heart has been carrying something too long a face, a thought, a weight you can't name, this moment is for you. Take a breath. We're not here to forget the past. We're here to make peace with it. Because peace doesn't begin when the past disappears. It begins when you stop running from it. So let's start with the first truth about letting go. It's not weakness, it's strength in its purest form. Part 1. Letting go is strength, not weakness. Let's be honest. Most of us were taught that endurance is heroic and release is retreat. Yet, the longer you live with your hand clenched around a hurt, the more you feel how the art of letting go is really inner steadiness in motion. It's not an escape. It's quiet courage, the decision to choose calm over chaos. Think about the way your phone slows down when too many tabs stay open. It still works, but everything lags. Closing one doesn't mean you've lost information. It means you've freed capacity. Life's the same. Setting something down isn't defeat. It's clarity. Non-attachment isn't cold or careless. It's the moment you stop sending your energy into things that return empty. The project you keep saving but never start. The storyline about yourself that belonged to a younger version of you. The mental argument that's been replayed for years. Releasing these doesn't deny the past. It rebalances the system so you can breathe again. Notice how even machines rely on subtraction to function. A rocket discards fuel tanks once spent. A coder deletes redundant lines so the program runs smoother. A baker removes excess dough to keep the loaf's shape. Letting go isn't rejection, it's refinement. If you want to sense this shift, close one tab in your real life. One notification thread you no longer need. Then, sit for a moment. Feel the quiet that follows. That's not emptiness, it's restored bandwidth. The mind, like any system, runs best when it's not overloaded. You didn't abandon the past, you stopped looping it. You didn't betray your values, you made room for them to live. The person who can lay a burden down intentionally is the person free to lift what truly matters. That's the heart of letting go, not erasing, but optimizing life's signal. Part 2. The beauty of impermanence. Nothing lasts forever, and that's not tragic. It's a subtle kind of harmony. The art of letting go deepens when we see impermanence, or anicca, not as decay but as rhythm. Shadows stretch, sunlight shifts, and the sky rewrites itself minute by minute. The universe never stops editing. We suffer not because time moves, but because we try to pin it down. We cling to a photograph that refuses to update. The faces stay young, but the world behind them has turned. That's why mindfulness of change matters. Memory is alive, not static. Look closely and you'll see it everywhere. The way dew evaporates before you notice. The way a scent disappears once you try to name it. The way a melody loses its ache once your heart has healed. Nothing is stolen. Everything transforms. We hold keys that no longer open anything. We preserve relics of identity because we fear who we'd be without them. But letting go doesn't dishonor the past. It simply admits the truth. This was real, and now it's complete. Nature lives this lesson effortlessly. A lunar phase shifts without apology. A glacier carves valleys and then recedes. Minerals beneath the earth reform under heat until they become crystal. Impermanence isn't chaos, it's renewal. If you want to feel this truth, just watch the light in your room change throughout the day. Don't photograph it. Don't name the hour. Just observe how it never looks the same twice, and somehow that makes it more precious. Impermanence doesn't erase meaning, it clarifies it. The sunset doesn't destroy the day, it defines it. The passing minute doesn't take time away, it gives it form. To see this clearly is to understand the art of letting go as a conversation with change, not an argument against it. Part 3. Closure comes from within. Closure isn't the ending people imagine. It's rarely cinematic. It's an internal file quietly marked complete and tucked away. Self-closure begins when you realize no one else will send the final email, make the final call, or say the words you've been waiting for. The text won't come. The apology, if it arrived, wouldn't fix the ache. Emotional healing doesn't depend on answers. It depends on your decision to stop refreshing the inbox of the past. Think of your mind as an archive. Some stories are still active files. Others have served their purpose. You don't delete them. You move them to storage. You make room on the desk for the work that belongs to this season. Peace arrives when you stop demanding that everything makes sense. Nature doesn't wait for permission to close cycles. The sun doesn't ask the sky if it's ready before setting. The ocean doesn't send closure notices before retreating. It just moves, and that movement is its completion. Try sitting in stillness and picture that one door you've been waiting for someone else to shut. Now imagine yourself quietly turning the handle and stepping back. Hear how the click sounds softer than you expected. That sound isn't loss, it's release. When memories return, remind yourself, I may never hear what I wanted, but I can still choose peace. The voice that says this isn't resignation, it's self-empowerment. Silence doesn't mean emptiness, it means space. The kind that allows new words, new lives, new beginnings to enter. Part 4. Letting go of your old self. There comes a quiet shift when you realize you've outgrown the person you used to be. Habits, desires, even hopes start to feel like clothes cut for another body. That's not failure, it's evolution. Every version of you was built for survival. The one who over-explained to be understood. The one who said yes to stay safe. The one who equated love with endurance. But when those old versions start limiting your movement, the art of letting go asks you to retire them, not with resentment, but with respect. Growth always comes with a kind of mourning. We don't just release memories, we release identities. The self who needed certain defenses doesn't vanish, it integrates. The same way metal, under heat, becomes something stronger and more refined. That's transformation, not erasure. You can sense this transition in the smallest details. The playlist that no longer resonates. The plan that no longer stirs excitement. Instead of forcing old energy to stay alive, pause. Ask yourself, does this still fit who I am becoming? You'll notice a soft exhale, a signal that your present self is ready to lead. Don't rush to fill the silence. That stillness isn't laziness, it's mindful reorientation. Forgive yourself for every version that didn't know what you now know. They carried you as far as they could. Imagine your past selves standing behind you, not as ghosts, but as stepping stones. You're allowed to keep walking, and what remains after that? Something quieter, lighter, alive, a self that no longer needs to prove worth through weight. That is the art of release, growing into who you already are. Part 5. Letting go as a daily practice. Most people picture letting go as one powerful event, a grand realization or a tearful release. In reality, it's repetition, a rhythm, the kind of emotional discipline that happens between breaths. Healing doesn't move linearly. It cycles like the moon. Some nights you shine, others your shadow. Neither is failure. Mindfulness means understanding that recovery, like breath, expands and contracts, always moving, always returning. Picture how the earth spins silently while holding oceans in place. That steadiness, not drama, is how peace is maintained. Letting go works the same way. It's not one storm that clears the air. but consistent atmosphere. When a memory rises, don't analyze it. Let it play out like background noise fading at the end of a song. You already know the melody. You don't need to replay it to understand it. Each time you stop resisting, the memory loses color. It turns from pain into data information your heart has already processed. Over time, even the sharp edges dull, not from forgetting, but from no longer touching them every day. Notice the small rhythms that support your practice. How morning light lands differently on your desk. How your pulse steadies when you breathe fully once. These are signs of inner recalibration. The body remembering that peace is safe. Each moment you choose calm over reaction, you rebuild your trust in yourself. Some think growth feels like climbing, but often it feels like standing still and realizing the ground beneath you no longer shakes. Peace isn't a destination, it's a repeated alignment. Every breath, every pause, every choice to stay present. That's how freedom roots itself quietly, day by day. Part 6. Letting go is not losing, it's making space. Letting go isn't about losing anything. It's about redesigning the interior of your own life. When something leaves, it doesn't tear a hole, it opens a doorway. That's the paradox of emotional growth. What feels like absence is often the architecture of becoming. Imagine your inner space like a minimalist home. Over the years, you've filled it with artifacts, memories, regrets, worn-out ideas of who you're supposed to be. Slowly, the walls close in. Then, one day, you move a single object and light falls differently. That's not emptiness. That's air returning. Some memories deserve to stay. They hold your wisdom. Others are just static, long past their frequency. Emotional healing begins when you adjust the volume, not when you destroy the instrument. You see this truth everywhere. A painter leaves blank canvas between strokes so the color can breathe. An architect designs windows before walls. A composer builds pauses into music so meaning can resonate. Creation thrives on space. When we grip too tightly, the things we hold start shaping us. A goal that once inspired now confines. A belief that once comforted now limits. But loosening that grip doesn't erase, meaning it restores movement. That's mindfulness of impermanence in action. Try shifting one object today, literally or emotionally. Move it. Don't discard it. Then notice how the room feels. Lighter, maybe, or simply quieter. That's the subtle texture of renewal. Letting go was never about loss. It's about reconfiguration. The room of the heart was never meant to stay full. It was designed to stay open. And when it is, what remains is not emptiness, but light waiting to show you what's been there all along. Maybe peace was never about fixing the past, just learning to live gently with it. When you stop fighting what's already gone, you make room for what's been waiting all along. Lightness, laughter, a breath that finally feels easy again. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying. And that's where freedom begins quietly, in the middle of an ordinary day. If this message felt like a deep breath you didn't know you needed, stick around. There's more where this came from. More stories, more stillness, more reminders that you're not alone. Hit subscribe not out of habit, but as a small promise to yourself, to keep showing up, to keep choosing peace, one breath at a time.